94 million American adults who are 20 years of age or older have somewhat elevated cholesterol. A waxy material called cholesterol, which can be present in your blood, is necessary for the building of healthy cells. Even while cholesterol is necessary for many body processes, high cholesterol can be a silent sign of serious health problems. This startling statistic emphasizes how crucial it is to keep cholesterol levels in check. When cholesterol levels are too high, fatty deposits might form in your blood vessels. As these deposits increase, your arteries may no longer adequately pump blood, which increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. However, by consuming some high-fat foods, we contribute to a rise in cholesterol levels. In this video, we've looked at 11 foods that, because of their high cholesterol content, are extremely harmful to our health. Always seek advice from a healthcare professional or dietitian before making any dietary adjustments. 1. Red meat. You may have exposed yourself to greater levels of cholesterol if you enjoy eating red meat. Because red meat contains a high amount of saturated fats, it may raise cholesterol levels, especially when taken in big quantities. The stomach and intestines break down the saturated fats in the meat. Liver protein molecules carry most of these lipids to the liver through the bloodstream, as they are not soluble in water. It is this organ that produces cholesterol. Increases in bad cholesterol can lead to accumulation in the artery walls. This increases the risk of cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes over time by causing the creation of plaque, a thick, hard deposit that may restrict the arteries. An extensive investigation into the effect of red meat diet on dyslipidemia was conducted in a study with around 20,000 individuals. The study discovered a strong correlation, roughly 34%, between higher red meat consumption and elevated chances of hypercholesterolemia. Because of this, people should be careful about how much red meat they eat if they want to get healthier. 2. Butter. Saturated fats, which are abundant in butter, are known to affect the body's cholesterol levels. Saturated fats have a higher propensity to elevate blood cholesterol levels than unsaturated fats, which are included in plant-based oils. These fats are broken down and absorbed into your bloodstream when you eat butter. Once in the liver, the absorbed saturated fats have a major impact on the creation of cholesterol. These lipids are used by the liver to create additional low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, or LDL cholesterol for short. LDL cholesterol is the kind of cholesterol that gets transported throughout the body. On the other hand, excessive blood levels of it can cause health problems. A study with 47 healthy participants examined the impact of replacing a portion of their regular diet with refined olive oil or butter. 70% of women with an average age of 40 were enrolled in the trial, which comprised a 14-day run-in phase of regular food. The findings showed that butter consumption considerably raised LDL and total cholesterol levels more than olive oil did. Comparing it to a regular diet, though, it also causes an increase in HDL cholesterol. Therefore, while butter consumption should be kept to a minimum for those with hypercholesterolemia, moderate consumption may be okay for those with normal cholesterol levels. 3. Fried foods. You may need to check your cholesterol levels soon if you enjoy fried foods. When lipids are fried at high temperatures, they can oxidize and generate toxic chemicals that are bad for heart health and cholesterol levels. In addition to changing the chemical structure of the fats, this oxidation process produces compounds such as free radicals and aldehydes that exacerbate oxidative stress and inflammation. Furthermore, foods that have been fried have a tendency to absorb these modified lipids, which raises the consumption of harmful saturated and trans fats overall. The consumption of unhealthy fats is made worse by this absorption. A big prospective study with over 15,000 individuals looked at the connection between the risk of heart failure and eating fried food. Heart failure was more likely to strike people who ate fried food more often than once a week. The study's conclusions showed that the risk rose by 24% for people who ate them 1 to 3 times a week, 28% for people who ate them 4 to 6 times a week, and more than doubling the risk for those who ate them more than twice a week, or an approximate increase of 103%. Enjoying video so far? Make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel to get more videos from our Health Shack box. Let's continue. 4. Processed meats. Not only does red meat raise cholesterol levels, But processed meats like bacon, sausages, and everyday meats also do so since they are high in saturated and occasionally trans fats. After processing these fats, the liver produces more low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol. Moreover, processed meats frequently have high dietary cholesterol content, which may potentially boost blood cholesterol levels. Processed meats have an especially negative influence on cholesterol levels and cardiovascular health because they include significant levels of saturated and trans fats in addition to dietary cholesterol. Therefore, regular eating of processed meats may be a major factor in elevated cholesterol levels and related health hazards. According to a review of studies, the risk of coronary heart disease is higher for processed meats, which have extra sodium and preservatives, than for unprocessed meats, increasing by 42% for every 50 grams consumed. The majority of this risk differential can be attributed to processed foods' high salt content, which is roughly 4 times higher than that of unprocessed meats. These meats' hem, iron, and dietary cholesterol are among the components that could raise your risk of illness. With a focus on lowering processed meat consumption for improved health outcomes, these data imply that consuming processed red meat is not optimum for heart and metabolic health. 5. Whole fat dairy products. Because dairy products may increase the risk of high cholesterol, they have traditionally been a subject of attention. Despite the fact that dairy products are high in saturated fat, the circulation absorbs saturated fats and carries them to the liver. Following that, the fats are utilized by the liver to generate more cholesterol. The body's cholesterol levels are further raised by the cholesterol included in many whole fat dairy products. Whole fat dairy products are major contributors to elevated cholesterol levels since they include both dietary cholesterol and saturated fats, especially when ingested in large quantities. Individual reactions to cholesterol in food, however, differ. Some people are more susceptible than others. For instance, compared to diets low in dairy or high in low-fat dairy, a diet rich in full-fat dairy had no effect on the blood pressure or fasting lipid profile in a study of men and women with metabolic syndrome. Consequently, dairy fat has no negative effects on these traditional cardiovascular risk factors when it is ingested as a component of complex whole foods. 6. Egg yolks. Because egg yolks contain a large amount of dietary cholesterol, it is known that eating them may raise cholesterol levels. Individual differences may exist in the degree to which eating cholesterol from egg yolks elevates blood cholesterol levels. Egg yolks can have a notable effect on low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, or bad cholesterol, for some people, but not for others, especially those who are more sensitive to dietary cholesterol. Furthermore, dietary cholesterol exacerbates the negative effects of dietary saturated fat and raises postprandial lipemia. It ought to be restricted to no more than 200 milligrams per day because of this. A single big egg yolk has about 275 milligrams of cholesterol in it. Consuming 1 egg per day increased the cardiovascular risk of participants who developed diabetes during the observation period as compared to consuming less than 1 egg per week. 7. Shellfish. Because of their comparatively high dietary cholesterol content, shellfish, including shrimp, lobster, and crab, are also known to elevate cholesterol levels just like egg yolks do. Eating shellfish may raise blood cholesterol levels in people who are genetically susceptible to elevated cholesterol. Because it may raise the risk of heart disease and stroke, elevated low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, is cause for concern. But it's also critical to remember that shellfish are often low in saturated fat, which plays a major role in cholesterol levels, and they also contain healthy elements. As a result, the effect of shellfish on cholesterol levels may vary depending on the diet's general pattern, the amount eaten, and personal health circumstances. An investigation was conducted into the effect of non-cholesterol marine sterol, which are present in moleskin shellfish, such as oysters and clams, on the absorption of cholesterol. After the oyster clam diet, the ratio of HDL to HDL3 cholesterol was increased, despite the fact that there was no discernible change in total plasma cholesterol. According to this study, the marine sterol found in shellfish, such as clams and oysters, may lessen the absorption of cholesterol and provide nutritional advantages. For this reason, it is usually advised to eat shellfish in moderation, particularly for those who are worried about their cholesterol levels. 8. Fast food. A lot of fast food items like deep-fried foods, processed meats, and full-fat dairy products are made with ingredients that are rich in saturated and trans fats. Fast food meals frequently contain a lot of calories. Increased calorie intake raises the risk of weight gain and obesity, both of which are linked to elevated cholesterol. A lot of fast food items are also heavy in sugar and sodium, which can aggravate cardiovascular health problems linked to high cholesterol by causing inflammation and hypertension. Important nutrients including fiber, vitamins, and minerals are frequently missing from fast meals, since soluble fiber helps lower the amount of cholesterol absorbed in the bloodstream. A diet deficient in fiber is especially problematic for managing cholesterol. In a survey of 200 college students, more than 75% reported eating the Mediterranean fast food shawarma on a regular basis, at least once a week. Of these students, about 37% had raised serum cholesterol levels and about 44% had an increased body mass index. According to the study, eating fast food frequently and having a higher BMI were both reliable markers of elevated cholesterol. In particular, students who consumed shawarma more frequently than 3 times per week had an 8-fold increased risk of elevated cholesterol, and students who were obese had a 14-fold increased risk in comparison to students whose BMI was normal. Furthermore, male students were twice as likely as female students to have elevated cholesterol levels. 9. Margarine. The kind of fat used to make margarine has a significant influence on whether or not it raises cholesterol. Partially hydrogenated oils, which are high in trans fats, were historically used to make a variety of margarine varieties. Trans fats are known to adversely impact heart health by raising bad cholesterol and lowering good cholesterol. Trans fats can cause endothelial dysfunction or damage to the blood vessel lining and are a risk factor for heart disease due to their contribution to inflammation. This injury exacerbates atherosclerosis by facilitating the formation of plaques. Many studies have reported that when dietary trans fatty acids are present in adequate amounts, they raise low-density lipoprotein cholesterol and lower high-density lipoprotein cholesterol. When a person's calorie intake is at least 4% trans fat, which elevates low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, and 5 to 6% trans fat, which lowers high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, it is simple to quantify these effects. This is contrasted with diets low in trans fat. 10. Partially hydrogenated oils. Polyunsaturated oil levels are lowered by partial hydrogenation, which also produces trans fats, which worsen heart disease. Because palm and soybean oils have significant saturated fat contents, they may raise cholesterol levels. Several studies have found that partly hydrogenated soybean and palm oils had significantly greater levels of low-density lipoproteins, LDLs, than soybean oils, which had 12% and 14% respectively. Vegetable oil has a sizable amount of saturated fats, even though it is not as high as in some animal fats. Therefore, if it is a key component of one's diet or is consumed in big quantities, it may raise cholesterol levels. Thank you for joining us on this vital journey towards better cholesterol health. By understanding the impact of certain foods on our cardiovascular well-being, we've taken a proactive step towards a heart-healthy lifestyle. Remember, small changes in our daily choices can lead to significant improvements in our overall health. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe for more insightful content on nutrition, wellness, and heart health. Together, we can make informed choices that contribute to a vibrant and thriving life. Wishing you a heart full of health and happiness. Until next time, take care and prioritize your well-being. Will you be avoiding these foods from now on? Let us know in the comments below.